My friend, you are richer than you know. You are wealth itself. You simply have forgotten. The secret to manifesting great sums of money in 2 days or less is not found in striving, struggling, or begging an outside power. It is found within your own wonderful imagination. You must claim the state of wealth as if it were already yours. Feel it now with all the vividness of reality. Imagine the weight of thick bills in your hands. Hear the rustle of them as you count them. Sense the pride, the relief, the excitement. Feel the new life flowing through you because abundance is yours. You are not asking for money. You are assuming you already possess it. This is the great key. You must saturate your mind with the certainty that the money is already here. Refuse to entertain any thought of lack. If you see yourself still waiting, still hoping, still yearning, stop. Go back to the inner scene where you already have it. Persist there. Live there. In the unseen world, the moment you accept this state as real, it is done. It is finished. The money must come, drawn by the law that cannot fail. It may seem sudden, unexpected, but it is not magic, it is law. Say within yourself, I am wealthy now. I have all the money I desire. It comes to me easily, freely, and abundantly. Feel the truth of it. Feel it until it dominates your mood, your heartbeat, your breath. You are not a beggar in the universe. You are the creator. If you want to see huge sums of money in your hands within 2 days, act now in your mind. Celebrate now. Thank now. Sleep tonight as one who already possesses it. Wake tomorrow not looking for signs, but living in the joy of accomplishment. It does not matter how. The means are not your concern. The world must bend to the one who has assumed the state of possession. Doors will open. Opportunities will spring forth. Unexpected channels will arise. Money is not something you chase, fight for, or even create. It already exists. It exists in infinite supply, moving through different forms, hands, and experiences. The truth is, the money you desire is already part of your reality. You simply have to align yourself with it. To grasp this, you must shift your focus from effort to embodiment, from striving to assuming. You do not make wealth appear out of thin air. You make yourself the one who already has it. And then reality has no choice but to reflect your inner certainty. You are surrounded by an invisible field of infinite possibilities. Within that field, there is a version of you who already has the financial abundance you are seeking. That version is not in some distant future. It exists now, in the unseen. The question is not whether the money exists. The only question is whether you are willing to identify with the version of yourself that possesses it. The way to align with this truth is not by efforting or struggling harder. It is through assumption. What would you feel if you knew the money was already yours? What thoughts would you think? How would you act today if you were fully confident that in just a short time you would have more money than you ever imagined? This feeling, this shift in consciousness is the doorway. When you move into that feeling, truly and sincerely, you are no longer asking, hoping, or wishing. You are claiming. You are becoming. The external world is not separate from your internal state. It is the mirror of it. You cannot demand the mirror to show you a wealthy image while inwardly you hold on to thoughts of lack and limitation. The mirror only reflects what you are. If you see poverty, it is because you feel poor inside. If you see delay, it is because you believe that what you want is far away. If you see abundance, it is because you have assumed abundance as your identity. You are aligning, not creating. This distinction is vital. When you think you have to create money, you place it outside yourself, you push it into the future, you make it something separate. But when you realize that it is already here, and that you are simply tuning yourself to the frequency where it is natural and normal, you step into effortless manifestation. You no longer act from desperation, You act from certainty. You no longer speak about what you are hoping for. You speak from the position of one who already possesses. Imagine standing in a room filled with hundreds of radio stations. Each station is broadcasting something different. One is scarcity, another is modest living, another is sudden wealth. You are not inventing the station. You are simply tuning into the one you choose. You do this with your dominant feeling. You do this with your inner conversation. You do this with the imaginal scenes you replay in your mind when no one is looking. Money is energy. Money is consciousness. When you feel yourself abundant, when you think and move and speak as one who naturally expects wealth, you send out a signal and money flows to match that signal, not because you forced it, not because you demanded it, but because you allowed yourself to be the person who already lives in that reality. Stop thinking of money as something you must earn through struggle. Stop thinking of it as something outside of you. Begin to understand. The moment you imagine yourself already having it and feel it as real, you have set the process in motion. It is inevitable. The outer world will rearrange itself to accommodate your inner change. There is nothing else you must do but remain faithful to this inner shift. Keep choosing the feeling of wealth. Keep resting in the knowing that the money is yours now. Do not sabotage it with doubt, with checking, with impatience. Act naturally, as though it is done. Walk, breathe, and live as though your financial reality has already transformed. Your world is not ruled by chance, fate, or external circumstances. It is ruled by your assumptions. What you deeply and consistently assume to be true will, without fail, become the world you experience. This is not a hopeful idea or wishful thinking. It is an unbreakable law. If you desire money and you desire it quickly, you must step into the consciousness where it is already yours. You must assume, with all the conviction you can gather, that it belongs to you now. Assumption is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It is the power that takes what is unseen and crystallizes it into form. Many people wait for signs before they believe. They look to their bank account, their job, or their opportunities to give them permission to feel wealthy. But this is backward. You must feel wealthy first. You must assume the reality of abundance before your senses confirm it. When you do this faithfully, the world bends to mirror your inner acceptance. You do not need evidence to assume something. You do not need permission to believe you are wealthy. Assumption is an act of imagination, an inner decision. When you close your eyes and declare, "I am rich," and you feel it as fact, you are planting a seed. That seed will grow if you do not dig it up with doubt and impatience. Your inner world must claim it first, and the outer world must follow. To assume money is yours, begin by asking, how would I feel right now if I already had the financial abundance I seek? Would I feel relieved, joyful, free? Then take that feeling and make it your dwelling place. Visit it so often that it becomes natural. Speak, think, and act from that feeling even before the money shows up. This is how you cause it to appear. When you assume something, you are not pretending. You are declaring that the unseen reality is the real one. You are choosing to trust the creative power within you over the temporary evidence outside of you. The outer world is slow to change, but the inner world shifts in an instant. And when it does, the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself around your new belief. Feeling is the secret ingredient. You cannot simply repeat words without emotion and expect transformation. The universe responds to the energy behind your words, to the feeling state you embody. If you say, "I am wealthy," but you feel doubt or fear, you are assuming lack, not abundance. True assumption requires surrendering completely to the new state of being, as if it were already fact. Imagine receiving a message that a large sum of money has been deposited into your account. How would you react? Would you smile, laugh, call a friend, feel a deep peace settle over you? That reaction, that feeling is what you must practice internally. You must summon it without needing the external trigger. This is living from the end. And it is the fastest way to collapse time between desire and fulfillment. You must also remember that assumption is not a one-time act. It is a posture of being. You may have to return to it again and again, especially when the outer world tempts you to doubt. Each time you feel uncertainty, gently but firmly bring yourself back to the feeling of certainty. Say inwardly, "It is done. I have already received." When you assume your desires fulfilled and you persist in that assumption, you invoke a power greater than any obstacle. Circumstances will shift, people will move, opportunities will arise seemingly out of nowhere. Paths you could not have planned will open before you. But none of this will happen until you move first in consciousness. Stop waiting for the world to change. Assume the change within yourself. Assume that the money is yours right now. Assume that the abundance is flowing, that the wealth is increasing, that prosperity is your natural state. Feel it so vividly that the outer world must yield to your inner conviction. This is the law, and it never fails. The world you experience is not determined by what you see, it is shaped by what you feel. Emotion is the creative force behind every manifestation. If you want to receive abundant results, you must feel abundant now, before there is any evidence. This is the secret that turns wishes into reality. To wait until you see the money before you feel wealthy is to trap yourself in endless waiting. But when you choose to feel wealthy without conditions, you set the process of manifestation into unstoppable motion. Feeling is not secondary, it is primary. Your emotions are not reactions to the world, they are creators of the world. What you consistently feel, you inevitably live. If you feel rich, grateful, and full now, even if your outer circumstances seem unchanged, you have already planted the seeds of wealth. And seeds by their very nature must grow when nurtured. To feel wealthy now, you must withdraw your attention from what appears to be missing. You must close your eyes to lack, to limitation, to the temporary appearance of not enough. You must instead turn inward and conjure the feeling of financial freedom. Picture yourself with everything you desire. Imagine paying bills easily, shopping freely, giving generously. Feel the relaxation in your body, the lightness in your mind, the joy that bubbles up from deep within. This feeling is your true currency. It is the energy that draws like to itself. You are not lying to yourself when you feel wealthy before you see the wealth. You are aligning with a deeper truth. Reality is fluid. It responds to the dominant emotions you radiate. If you make a home in the feeling of abundance, your external world must eventually match it. The law of life is simple. What you feel on the inside, you will experience on the outside. Emotion is magnetic. It pulls experiences, people, and opportunities into your orbit. When you feel lack, you attract more reasons to feel lacking. When you feel abundance, you attract more reasons to feel abundant. It is not about forcing or struggling, it is about aligning. It is about becoming an emotional match for the reality you desire. Imagine yourself as a tuning fork. When you vibrate with the frequency of wealth, when you feel secure, prosperous, joyful, you call forth circumstances that match that frequency. Opportunities seem to find you effortlessly. Money flows through unexpected channels. Resources appear just when you need them. But all of this begins with the inner work of feeling. Many people make the mistake of waiting for their outer world to change before they allow themselves to feel good. They say, "I'll feel abundant when I get the money." But life does not work that way. The feeling must come first. It is the cause, not the effect. The more intensely and sincerely you can feel abundance now, the faster the outer results will crystallize around you. You have the power to feel anything you choose at any moment. You are not at the mercy of appearances. Even if your bank account is low, even if bills are piling up, you can close your eyes, take a breath, and enter into the feeling of having more than enough. You can imagine the relief, the gratitude, the excitement. And by doing this, you are reprogramming your reality at the most fundamental level. Persist in the feeling. Make it your most familiar place. When doubt creeps in, when fear whispers lies, gently return to your chosen state. Affirm silently, I am wealthy. I am provided for. Abundance is my nature. Anchor yourself again and again in the emotion you have decided is yours. You are not waiting for wealth, you are revealing it. You are not hoping for abundance, you are embodying it. Feel wealthy now, without reason, without proof, without hesitation. Feel it because it is the truth of who you are beneath every temporary appearance. And as you do, the world will mirror back to you what you have dared to claim within. Detachment is the force that accelerates the arrival of your desires. It may seem strange, but the moment you stop needing the manifestation, the moment you stop constantly checking for signs, is the moment it begins to rush toward you. True creation happens in a state of relaxed confidence, not anxious waiting. You must learn to release the grip of desperation and trust that what you have claimed in your inner world is already unfolding perfectly in the outer world. When you are attached, when you are constantly looking, measuring, doubting, you are broadcasting the energy of lack. You are silently affirming that you do not yet have what you want. Every time you check the clock, the bank account, the email inbox, hoping for a sign, you are stepping out of the state of fulfillment and into the state of absence. And as long as you remain emotionally tied to absence, you prolong the waiting. Detachment is not about giving up on your desire. It is about giving up the anxious obsession with how and when it will come. It is the art of knowing that the moment you desired it and assumed it, it was done. It is finished. The universe has already arranged itself to deliver what you have claimed. Your only task now is to live in the peace of that knowing. When you relax, when you stop monitoring, when you trust that it is already yours, you open the door for faster manifestation. Relaxation is not laziness, it is supreme confidence. It is the quiet inner smile that says, of course it's mine. I have no need to rush or beg. I already possess it in my inner world, and the outer world is simply catching up. Think of a seed planted in the soil. You do not dig it up every hour to check its growth. You water it, you provide sunlight, and you trust the unseen process. You know that growth is happening even when you cannot see it. In the same way, your desires are growing beneath the surface. The energy has been set in motion. The manifestation is inevitable if you leave it alone. Detachment is a statement of belief. It is saying, I trust the unseen more than the seen. I trust my inner vision more than outer appearances. It is choosing to align with the end result rather than with the momentary evidence. If you have truly assumed your desire is fulfilled, there is no need to chase it. Chasing only reveals that you believe it is running from you. Practice detachment by shifting your focus. Instead of obsessing over when the money will come, focus on embodying the version of yourself who already has it. How would you move, think, and feel if you knew that everything you desired was inevitable? You would likely be relaxed, joyful, generous, and at ease. Begin to live in that energy now, and you accelerate the unfolding of your desires. The power lies not in forcing outcomes, but in allowing them. When you are detached, you are not passive. You are vibrantly alive in the feeling of already having. You are no longer driven by the external, but by the deep inner conviction that what you desire is part of who you are. Each time you feel the urge to look for evidence, remind yourself, It is already done. Each time impatience creeps in, breathe deeply and return to the feeling of certainty. You do not have to push, strive, or struggle. Your assumption has already been accepted by the unseen forces of creation. Detachment is faith in action. It is resting in the unseen reality and knowing that all things are working in your favor. The less you interfere, the faster it comes. Relax, trust, and move through your days with the quiet assurance that your world is transforming even now. You have set the wheels in motion. Now allow them to carry you effortlessly to the fulfillment you have claimed. Creation is not complicated. It does not require long rituals or exhausting repetition. The subconscious mind is moved most powerfully through short, vivid, imaginal acts. A simple scene, fully felt and joyfully imagined, can impress the deeper layers of your being far faster than hours of desperate affirmations. It is the emotional charge and the clarity of the scene that gives it power, not its length or complexity. Imagine for a moment holding a check in your hands. The paper cool and crisp. You see your name written on it. The amount you desire boldly printed in the corner. You feel the texture beneath your fingertips. You hear the rustle of the paper as you unfold it. You smile, a natural smile of someone who is receiving what they have long accepted as theirs. You feel the thrill in your chest, the gratitude in your heart. This is a short scene, perhaps just a few seconds long, but it carries the entire emotional weight of your fulfilled desire. The subconscious mind does not understand words alone. It responds to feeling. It responds to imagery that is alive and emotionally charged. When you construct a short, vivid, imaginal act and replay it lovingly, you are speaking the true language of creation. You are communicating to the deeper part of you that this experience is real, that it has already happened. Do not burden yourself by trying to imagine every detail of the journey. You do not need to know how the money will come or map every step. All you need is a clear end scene, a moment that implies your desire is fulfilled. Perhaps it is a notification on your phone showing a large deposit. Perhaps it is a loved one congratulating you. Perhaps it is you sitting in your favorite chair, feeling the ease of financial freedom. Choose a scene that feels natural, one that would occur after the manifestation is complete. Keep the scene short so that you can enter it easily and repeat it effortlessly. Let it become like a song stuck in your mind, a melody you return to throughout the day. When doubts arise, when the outer world shows no sign of change, return to your scene. Feel it again. Smile inwardly as you replay it, knowing that you are watering the seed you have planted. The beauty of short, vivid, imaginal acts is that they bypass resistance. The longer and more complicated the visualization, the more opportunity for the rational mind to interfere, to question, to doubt. But a quick, joyful scene slips past the guard of reason and sinks directly into the fertile soil of the subconscious. It becomes a living memory of the future, a memory that your world must eventually reflect. Do not force the scene. It should feel light, playful, easy. If you find yourself straining to imagine, simplify even further. Focus on a single sensation, a single gesture, a single phrase. Maybe it is simply the feeling of relief flooding your body. Maybe it is the sound of someone saying, "You did it." Trust that the smallest, most vivid spark can ignite the greatest fire of creation. Once you have your scene, persist in it. Return to it upon waking, before sleeping, and any time your mind drifts. Let it be your secret dwelling place, the inner home you carry with you, regardless of outer appearances. Over time, you will find that this imaginal act begins to feel more real than what your senses report. You will walk in the assumption of its truth, and reality will bend to match it. Creation is not a matter of effort, but of inner acceptance. A few seconds of sincere, vivid imagining can do what months of hard work cannot. Enter your scene with joy. feel it as real, and know that the subconscious has been impressed. It is already working, already rearranging, already guiding you to the fulfillment of your desire. Trust the unseen process. Trust the simplicity. A single joyful imaginal act holds more power than the world suspects. Gratitude is the golden seal of manifestation. It is the silent acknowledgement that what you have imagined is already yours. When you end your imaginal act with genuine, heartfelt gratitude, you impress upon the subconscious that the event is complete. Gratitude shifts your state from wanting and hoping into having and knowing. It affirms silently but powerfully, it is done. Many make the mistake of waiting to feel gratitude until the physical world presents the evidence. But true creation works in the opposite way. You feel gratitude first, and the evidence must follow. Gratitude is not merely a polite emotion, it is a magnetic force. When you feel grateful now, you signal to life itself that you already possess what you ask for, and life responds by making it visible. After you imagine yourself holding the check, seeing the bank alert, or hearing the words of congratulations, let yourself be flooded with a wave of gratitude, not forced, not mechanical, but genuine, like the natural gratitude you would feel if you were truly standing in the middle of your fulfilled dream. Imagine your heart swelling with appreciation, your body relaxing into joy, your mind at peace, because the search is over. Feel the weight lift from your shoulders. Feel the sweet certainty that all is well. Locks you into the state of the wish fulfilled. It tells the subconscious mind, this is my reality now. And the subconscious, indifferent and faithful, accepts your emotional claim as fact and sets to work bringing it into full view. The more sincerely you feel gratitude, the deeper you impress the reality of your desire into the unseen currents that shape your life. If ever you feel doubt creeping in, if the outer world tempts you to question or fear, return immediately to gratitude. Close your eyes for a moment and say within yourself, thank you, it is done. Remind yourself that unseen forces are arranging themselves perfectly on your behalf. Trust that you do not need to know every detail of how it will unfold. Your feeling of gratitude is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. It also transforms you internally. It lifts you into a higher vibration, into a state where abundance, ease, and miracles become natural. A grateful heart is a magnet for blessings. It attracts more to be grateful for. When you make gratitude your natural state, you live as though everything is always working for you. And so it does. Practice this simple rhythm. Imagine, feel, and give thanks. Let gratitude be the final note of every imaginal scene. Let it be the atmosphere you breathe throughout your day. Even a few seconds of true gratitude can anchor the manifestation more firmly than hours of strained visualization. It is the sweet, simple assurance that you are already home, already fulfilled, already provided for. You do not need to beg or plead for what you desire. You only need to accept it inwardly and seal it with gratitude. Gratitude is the language of having. It speaks directly to the heart of creation, announcing that you recognize and accept your blessings now. And once you have accepted them inwardly, life has no choice but to mirror them outwardly. Give thanks now. Give thanks deeply. Give thanks with joy, as if your greatest dreams have already arrived, because within the unseen they already have. Your gratitude is the final step, the invisible signature that completes the creation and calls it forth into your world. You are never meant to struggle for what is already yours. The money, the opportunity, the abundance you seek, they are already part of your reality, waiting for you to align. Assume, feel, relax, imagine vividly, and give thanks. When you stop chasing and start living from the end, you awaken to the truth. You are the operant power. You command your world, not by force, but by feeling, by faith, by assumption. Short, joyful, imaginal acts, deeply felt emotions of abundance, effortless detachment from the how, and sincere gratitude are not just techniques. They are the very language of creation. When you dwell in the state of already having, reality bends itself to match your inner conviction. It cannot do otherwise. Leave it now. Feel it now. Celebrate it now. The moment you accept your wealth within, the outer world has no choice but to reflect it. Thank you for allowing me to speak into your imagination today. May you move forward with full faith, bold imagination, and a heart overflowing with gratitude. It is done.